I'm going to start off by speaking about the United States and the greater world. And then I'll lob my political grenade back at Tony after that.
You have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes to lob the grenade or 10 minutes to the outer world. But seriously speaking, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for us to speak openly tonight. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the United States and its place in the world, and then go on towards Malaysia and put that into context. I think what Jamie said is very instructive in the sense that there are two things, or there's one major thing that's come out of the new America, which we should all be mindful of in Asia, especially in Malaysia. That was, first, that previously, under George W. Bush, America was looked on as a country that was hegemonic and that was dominant. And that wasn't very nice, whether it was in economics, whether it was in geopolitics, whether it was in climate change. It was seen very much as a bully, somebody that didn't want to take part in what the rest of the world was doing, and somebody that wanted the rest of the world to take part in what it was doing on its own terms. Today we want to move away from hegemony and dominance to America that is defined by leadership and partnership. Yes, leadership. And I take a bit of a risk saying leadership because nobody wants to admit to being led by America in this world. But you cannot deny the fact that the United States is the single biggest military, political, and economic power in the world today. And that is why the rest of the world demands and expects the United States to show true leadership in this world, in this new time of crisis, in this time of a new America, and also genuine partnership. And by genuine partnership, I mean a leader does not just lead. He also takes part in a process, a democratic process with the rest of the world that is inclusive, that is based on dialogue, that is founded on mutual respect, so that all these fault lines, whether it is with the Muslim world, whether it's with the economic crisis, whether it's with climate change, whether it is with regards to North Korea, whether it has to do with the Middle East peace process, all these big issues of today are resolved together with the rest of the world. So there's tremendous expectation when you talk about leadership. When you talk about leadership in the time of change, the sort of leadership that Barack Obama brought, there is tremendous expectation from the rest of the world. I mean, just imagine, for instance, Barack Obama did not just have this magnetism within the United States, but he captured the imagination of the whole world. The hope that he generated floated throughout the world, and the hope floats until today. When he addressed a crowd of thousands of people in Berlin in the run-up to the US presidential elections, it was similar to when Jack Kennedy made the Ich bin ein Berliner speech in Berlin when he was president. And that sort of capturing of the world's imagination had never taken place before. Barack Obama could have stood for anything and won anything. I think if his name was on the Umno Youth chief ballot post, he would have. I would have voted for him. That is the degree to which Barack Obama managed to capture the imagination of the people around the world. But my only reservation, and I want to come to the local side, but my only reservation with this is, with America, the new America is very simple. Is that I'm not sure how much it's really changed. You have to distinguish between Barack Obama, the person, the phenomenon, and the United States government, which is an institution. How much institutional change can Barack Obama bring? How much will, for example, the United States position on the Middle East change because of somebody whose middle name is Hussein, or somebody who grew up in Indonesia, somebody who supposedly has greater sensitivity towards the Muslim world? There was a poll done recently, I read in CNN today, that the majority of Americans still distrust the Muslim world. How will that change institutional behavior in the United States? I mean, if you take a look at Barack Obama in the lead up to his inauguration, he was silent. He was silent when the Palestinians were being bombed in Palestine by the Israelis. He was silent, and he is still largely silent until today. As we all know, politicians on both sides of the divide, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, receive a lot of money from lobbyists, from pro-Israeli lobbyists, and this will be a tough challenge for Barack Obama, how he disengages himself with the institutional straitjacket that each president of the United States has had to deal with. Now, coming back to Malaysia, and I understand Tony's point perfectly well. Not that I want to be Prime Minister by the time I'm 40, but the fact that he wants to be Prime Minister when he's 40. But seriously speaking, his point is salient to our discussion. Just now, Jamie said that one key takeaway from the Obama campaign was that it challenged political axioms that have never been challenged before in the United States. How could a black man be voted as president of the United States? How can a black man who grew up in a Muslim country be voted in as the president of the United States? How can somebody who doesn't have any dynastical connections or establishment connections be voted in as president of the United States? Now I want to tell you something, that this challenging of political axiom has not just happened in the United States, but it's also happened here in Malaysia. And it's something that I, as a Barisan Nasional politician, of course, I'm not happy about it because we lost a lot of power. But as a Malaysian, I'm happy about it because it shows that we're maturing as a country and we're maturing as a nation. And as far as Barisan Nasional is concerned, we have to get with the program. If we don't change and if we don't reform, this country is not going to wait for us. You can't say anymore that the BN governed this country since 1957, it's 1955 to be exact, under alliance. Therefore, everyone owes it to us to vote us into power every single time. No. There has been a tremendous challenge to the political axiom last year, 2008, when for the first time ever, I think, there was a conscious effort. I saw Chinese voters, Malaysian Chinese voters holding flags for PAS. Never ever happened before. I saw PAS guys holding DAP flags. I almost fainted. He's right, just change it. I mean, it came to such an extent where political axioms were being challenged. And for the first time, somebody always asked me, this revolution, this tsunami happened in 2008. I said, no, it didn't happen in 2008. Actually, it happened in 1999. It began in 1999, but there are differences. Why didn't it happen in 1999? Because there was still this fear. There was still this fear. BN still won in 1999, maintained our two-thirds majority because the non-Malays still voted with us. We lost a lot of Malay support in 1999. The non-Malays voted for us in 1999 because there was this fear. Amongst the non-Malay community, you cannot vote anyone other than BN because this country is going to go to the dogs May 13th, all this scaremongering tactics, we're so scared, cannot. In 2004, there was an aberration. There was a Obama effect, which led to a tsunami on the other side. But because expectations were not met, of course, that was negated completely. Now you have 2008, where for the first time we've challenged these axioms. Where for the first time we said, you can actually vote for the other party, and this country isn't going to crumble. You can actually vote for the other side. You can actually go, just change it, and this country isn't going to crumble. So when Malaysians have psychologically crossed that threshold to say that we can vote for DAP, we can vote for PAS, we can vote for Jackie's hero, Anwar Ibrahim, and it'll still be okay. And once you've changed and challenged that political axiom, I think the next elections, people are going to be much, much more confident in casting their vote according to how they see it. And for me, as a Malaysian, that's a good thing, because we want to build a mature democracy. As a Barisan Nasional politician, it's not such a good thing. It's not such a good thing because we have to change very quickly. We don't have much time. We have 4 years on the electoral clock, but it's more like 2 years because you have to campaign for 1 year, etc., etc. So we have to convince ourselves first that we need to change. I think the Prime Minister is doing the right thing, and I'm really happy that Tony said he hopes that this One Malaysia is going to work. At least he comes with good intentions. Niat and ikhlas.
Thank you. Thank you, Khairy.